morning. So this is my exam. So the right to safety. The right to safety to be protected against products, productions, processes, and services that are hazardous to health or life. So the right to be heard, to have consumer interests represented in the making and execution of government policy and in the development of product and services. So let's go the right to be informed. So about the collection and use of the personal data, you must provide individuals with information including your purpose for processing their personal data, your retention periods for that personal data, and who it will be shared with. So next is the right to be heard. So the right to be heard, also children's participation so is a child rights principle as defined by UN Convention on the Right of the Child. This right applies equally to children's participation in social and political matters as well as in judicial and administrative proceedings. So let's go in the right to be choose. So the definition of the right to choose as per the Consumer Protection Act 1986 is the right to be assured wherever possible to have access to a variety of goods and services at competitive prices. For regulating the marketplace, there is just one factor required, and that is competition. So the existing of cartels, oligopolies, and monopolies prove to be counterproductive to consumerism. So let's go in the foods and diet quickery. So foods quickery, those connotes the entrepreneurial aspects of foodism, exaggerated beliefs in the effects of food upon health and disease appears to be based on magical thinking about food. Such thinking has been cultural roots. So let's go in the diet quackery. So lose that weight you know you should, but sheer numbers of weight loss programs sometimes confuse the issue. So people who want to lose weight are a very vulnerable group because they are very frustrated by Kathleen Zellman, MPH, or RDLD Director of Nutrients for the WebMD Weight Loss Clinic, tells weight loss is hard and everybody is looking for a silver bullet. So let's go to drug quackery. So, drug quackery is the characteristic practice of quacks or charlatans who pretend the knowledge and skills that they do not possess, particularly in medicine. So the quack makes exaggerated claims about his or her ability to heal disease, generally for financial gain. So, medical quackery is loosely defined as the practice of palming of falsehoods as medical fact. It not always done for the purpose of financial gain, but often to connote or contort facts simply to suit one's own personal beliefs or pretensions. So let's go to the gadget quackery. So the advent of electricity opened an intervenue of gadget intended to make a buck for the reseller and give hope to the buyer. So today we can imagine people actually paying money for something like an electric flash brush to cure palpitations. Even so, this is golden opportunity for the sealer. So they had a gadget powered from a source most people could even begin to understand the most often that were few cures for the malady at hand. Something like that electric belt or headband offered hope there none existed for a new dollars. So let's go to the quackery and consumer protection. So consumer protection is a practice of safeguarding buyers of goods and services and the public against unfair practices in the marketplace. Consumer protection measures are often established by law. So, when you buy a good or service, you rarely have perfect knowledge of its quality and safety. You are justifiable concerned about getting ripped off, thus the need for consumer protection. So economy activity flourishes when consumer can trust producers, but the consumer must have grounds for trust. Consumer value then not only quality of safety but also the assurance of quality and safety. Trust depends on assurance. So, quacks protections. A quack is a person who pretends to be educated and licensed or somehow credentialed to be able to diagnose or treat a patient with a health problem. He creates a persona that entices people to trust him with their health. The fraudulently sells that patient or at least attempts to sell a product or service that will supposedly cure the patient. So let's go to the why do people turn to quackery? So, other less unremitting pain, irremediable deformity, loneliness, racial or ethnic prejudices as being reason for quack proneness. So still other reason are the role of faith, frustration, desperation, hypochondria, and gullibility. So next is what is placebo effect and give examples. So placebo is a substance or treatment which is designed to have a therapeutic value. Common placebos include inner tablets, inner injections, sham surgery, and other procedures. So a placebo is anything that seems to be a real medical treatment. It could be a pill or shoot or some other type of fake treatment. So what all placebos have in common is that they do not contain an active substance meant to affect health. So what is the placebo effects? So sometimes a person can have a response to a placebo. The response can be positive or negative, or the person may have what appears to be side effects from the treatment. So these responses are known as the placebo effects. So, placebo will be a sugar pill that's used in control group during a clinical trial. So this is the example of placebo. So example of a placebo will be a sugar pill that used in a control group during a clinical trial. The placebo effect is when an improvement of symptoms is observed despite using a non-active treatment. It's believed to occur due to psychological factors like expectation or classical conditioning. So let's go to the right letter of consumer complaint. So when you write a consumer complaint, so this is the example. So you need to write your name, address, phone number, company official, company name, company address, date, and title na siya. So, dear, and sino yung papadalhan mo. Or kanino mo ibibigay. So, first, ilagay mo is I wish to complain about name of the product or service with serial number for account number that I purchased on date and location of transaction. So, I am complaining because, so, the reason you are dissatisfied. To resolve this problem, I would like you to, what you want to the business to do. So, when I first learned of this problem, I connected, so name of the person, date of the call. So at your company, and was told that nothing could be done about my problem. So I believe that this response is unfair because the company has a obligation to you. So I would like a right statement explaining your company's position and what you will do about my complaint. I look forward to hearing from you as soon as possible to resolve this problem. If I do not hear from you within days, I will file complaints with the appropriate consumer against the consider my legal alternatives. I am including copies of my receipt. I may be connected at the above address and phone number. So, ganun lang siya pagkasulat. And sincerely, your name, signature, and local consumer group, appropriate government agency, and attach the list documents of your complaint, if any. So, that's all. Thank you.